Raphael, good morning. How are you?
Pretty good, Antoine. How are you?
Excellent. So, as a means of introduction, Raphael and I go back about 8 years, 7, 8 years. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do now and where you come from?
And yeah, I'm originally from Chile, but I have been traveling for the last few years. And 5 years ago, I arrived here to Australia, and I found a home here, found a nice partner. So I'm staying for now. It has been like 5 years. And at the very beginning, when I just arrived, I met Antoine in an English school. And I think by luck or by chance, I don't know,
The
we created
gods.
some kind of friendship that has been lasting years. And here we are doing Zoom meetings early in the morning.
Terrific. And your lovely wife is more than nice. She's incredible. Uh, Quick one for you, Oleu Life. So you've an entrepreneurial spirit, and you're one of the most creative and passionate guys I've ever met. Tell me a little bit about Oleu Life and how that's changed your life and what
Mm.
direction you're going with your business.
Yeah, no. I have been like working by myself, let's say for the last 10 years. And after arriving to Australia, I noticed there was a space and there was opportunity if you want to develop your own business. And so the market is interesting, and together with my wife Maite, we saw an opportunity, and we connect that opportunity with a personal passion. That passion is about like aromas and creating beautiful products that deliver value to society. So
Mm.
my wife Maite, she has a background in packaging design and branding design. So the brand was like mostly her work in terms
Mm.
of concept development, user research, and our consumer, because we sell essential oils, it's mostly women. So she's in better fit to understand that particular customer better. Yeah, for example, that one is an oil diffuser. I'm gonna send you some
Love it.
oils, mate. Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
love it.
send you some oils.
I love what
So
you
yes,
talk about, the mood enhancer effect. Genuinely
yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah, just to answer your question, so that was the drive at the very beginning of how we started with the company, and we are getting close to have like 4 years running the business, and we have been like just doing it, even in
Fantastic.
pandemic, during this crazy and sometimes difficult times. We even had a baby, so life is like blooming for us.
Terrific. The wheels keep on turning. And I love how you've transitioned. When we met, as you were studying advanced English, business English. I was doing a lot of coaching with international students and young migrant expatriate professionals with their communication skills. And now I've moved into content and copywriting and some digital marketing. How important is language and your journey with the English language for your website, your web content, for your communications with your business stakeholders?
Look, language is key, and probably for a migrant, especially non-native English speaker, it's the way in how you present yourself, in the way in how you create trust with your network, with some like important stakeholders. If you are at work, or maybe if you, I don't know, you try to run your business, you need to be able to communicate your message. At the end of the day, it's just that you have an idea in your mind, and even if you speak the same language, sometimes it's difficult to share what you want to do. And imagine you add the barrier of having a different language background. So yes, it's important. It's super important. And
So if you
appreciate, yeah, I appreciate having the chance to meeting you at that so many years ago, and you have me taught about of good English.
if you compared or contrasted the Raphael 10 years ago with a native Spanish speaker from Chile with the guy who now speaks pretty much fluent English and is very articulate, what advantages do you see in terms of bridging that gap to from good English to native standard in terms of your content writing, your web presence, your negotiations with various stakeholders? Tell us about the difference between good and great.
Great is the one that you need. Good is just good enough. It's not, there is a lot of competition. So you need to, I don't want to say you need to excel in your language, because that's going to be very, very difficult. Being a wordsmith, it's a big dream.
Well, that's a challenge for native speakers.
Yeah, and probably will come, but it takes at least 10 years of being like full immersion in different situations, understand the difference between like you're gonna correct me, accentuate the words to provoke different emotions. You want to be strong, you want to be funny, you want to be curious. That kind of difference are even in a like higher level.
Yeah, the nuances of the language are very challenging. Again, for someone who has spoken English their whole lives, just finding the right word to convey the right emotion, the values of your business. If you hired a copywriter or content writer, what are you looking for? What qualities?
I'm looking for someone able to do research. I think that's super important, because research, it's gonna give you space as a copywriter to find the right keywords and be like an effective communicator. I think that is super important. The point with research, it's important because when you put some content online, there is a bunch of content online. So how you differentiate is like with copywriting, a good storytelling, quality content. That's so important, quality content. And also designing, like finding the right images, placing the text in a appealing way. It's super important. So I think you need to combine a little bit of different like specialities. For example, okay, good copywriting, it works for search engines a lot because it has text. But when you have a human in front of your computer, it has to look nice, because it has to be pleasant to read. Imagine like the average concentration time nowadays is like seconds. Seconds. So you need to
reduce from goldfish 6 or 7 seconds down to about 2 or 3 seconds now.
Now it's terrible. So if you're like your title is not the right one, you don't stand a chance.
So there's a lot of, relatively cheap content producers spread out around the globe. What do you think is there's a lot, it's kind of been dumbed down to an extent in terms of a job perceived as relatively easy, because you could do it from the comfort of your home, and all these keyboard warriors are pumping out sometimes plagiarized ideas, concepts, words, and passing off as quality content writers, often with very keyword dense subject matter, which sometimes is counterproductive, because the Google algorithms can detect kind of a pollution of keywords. So what's your advice to content writers to deal with that kind of competition and to stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, no, competition is super hard. It's super hard because look, when you see content creation from 100% search engine optimization, the way in how you can make something popular or rank in the number one page, number one result in organic results online, it's to have a bunch of backlinks, link building, and references. And in that way, if you are able with your network to propagate that content, you can position, I think, for quality and not for quantity, because you can build that positioning just using like bots and cheap ways, like the black hat ways to position content, because you are tricking the algorithm at the end of the day.
Yeah. of course, being careful not to do anything unethical or inappropriate with black cat marketing. But come here, last question for you. Oleu Life have now positioned themselves as one of the leading online essential oil retailers in Sydney, certainly, and you've done remarkably well in a relatively short space of time. What advice, a couple of tips, would you give a younger version of yourself, maybe an international student or a young, culturally diverse audience coming to somewhere like Australia for the first time? Tremendous business development or relationship management skills, even communication skills, but with English as a second language. What tips would you offer them for building an entrepreneurial business?
Look, definitely studying a bit of English helps a lot. Yeah, and
but in schools it's difficult. It's difficult to find.
Look, I would recommend definitely a coach. If I have to give some advice to my younger self, I will say have more beers with Antoine, spend more time talking about life, and working on what do you want to do, working your speech, your communication, the way in how you present yourself. That's so important, because sometimes, okay, you are a migrant, you're never going to be able to speak absolutely native English,
and you probably don't.
No, probably you can be endearing with the way in how you present yourself, and charming with the way in how you particularly speak. Sometimes it's an advantage. It's not a weakness.
No,
so
it's endearing.
It's endearing. So I will say, look, train yourself. If you are able to learn online, or if you need a coach, I will highly recommend to hire someone. And look, a bit of grammar always helps. So going to a school, I know that it's a pain, it's time consuming, it's expensive, but it helps a lot, because you're going to be able to achieve your goals way more quicker.
And there's a lot of schools. I mean, if you Google search business English, you typically end up with a lot of schools. When you arrive in a school, you have 20 people, often of very different abilities, and you only get 1/20th. Less. What are you looking at there? You're looking at about less than 5% of the attention in a typical classroom, and they try to have 25 people. So would you think that a traditional 20-hour-a-week classroom is appropriate for an aspiring entrepreneur in terms of developing their English skills?
No. I'm sure that the mindset of an entrepreneur will see there is a space for more here in Australia. So like, you can go to school, but look, let's be realistic. Sometimes the majority of the students are there because they want their visas.
The visa factory, yeah, for sure.
The visa, they are not there because they had to. They just they want to come to Australia, and it's fine. You can make a lot of savings and go back to your home country and change your life. That's motivation. That's proper motivation. But the point is, learning English is not a goal. It's not a goal. It's just a mean to conquer your goal. Okay, I have to be there at the school. Okay, let's do it. I have to do these assessments that are painful and boring. Yes, I will do it. That's why I think, having a coach is higher quality. And okay, it's expensive. Maybe there should be an option between the school and the coach, because the coach is so personalized that it's very, very expensive. And the school is so massive that it's absolutely the opposite. So maybe coaching session just with 5 people. And as a coach, you are able to make them work in a small group in order to develop their English and achieve their goals.
And that could be done virtually as well, Raphael. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think if you can get even 3 or 4 like-minded people, and that's the tricky part. It's like finding your niche audience, because the demographic of, let's say, 20 to 30-year-olds is so different. I mean, I asked you about this question, who are your target audience for Oleu Life? And you told me, ladies of this particular age, this particular professional background. and it's very specific. So if you don't get that level of specificity, whatever the word is,
Yeah.
that's a tricky one. Let's let's use
Let's leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't target in a very focused way like that, some people are not going to engage. They're not going to respond. They're not going to rise to the energy, the synergy of that group. And having done Aussie English kind of conversation classes with advanced learners in the past, I know that the kind of energy that can be created if the trainer or the coach, the communications coach, can stand back a little bit and allow the group to interact with each other in a much more connected way. That's powerful stuff, but it really relies on small, tailored groups. But thank you so much for your time, Raphael. I really appreciate it, and wish you the very best with your business.
Thank you very much, Antoine. I appreciate it.